Sickening Sunday. You already know we right here. We're excited to hop on, chop it up with indifference. It was the talk of towns going down the word in the curvy Irby. Let me just set this up. Today was a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Still a beautiful night. Day. Now, for those who are curious, I did drop a new video on this. Just want to scope it out regarding the whole my thoughts on two boxing events, stuff like that. When it comes to settling beef, is it real animosity or is it just for the sake of entertainment, or is it just entertainment masqueraded as beef? Mr. Pasa is definitely up in the casa for the raza. What's cracking, my boy? Que dice la buena vida, carnal. You already know, aquí nomás, rifando. Homie, Derek Debbie up in the building. Are you there for ready to make the Skrilla illa? Raiders lost to the Chargers. That's crazy. They have only one. They have only like one win, no? 2 wins? 1, 2. Shit is crazy. Not even with the new stadium, huh? I think they blame the cities. You know, I think it's like they think it's maybe because of the cities. Que Oakland, que LA, que Oakland, Las Vegas. And then that is a nice stadium too. The whole organization needs to be replaced. As a matter of fact, the owner just needs to sell the team. Get rid of everybody, just put everybody, brand spanking new. Because they've been managing that team horribly for many, many, many years already. Hey, but don't get it twisted though. The Chargers are a pretty decent team though. You know what I mean? I mean the Chargers are no scrubs. They have improved. In our division, I probably would say that they're probably the next main threat, more than the Chiefs. I would say, even though we're running away with the division. Knock on wood. I have a question. Says you say In-N-Out isn't the best. What burger joint is better? There's a lot of burger joints that I probably would prefer than In-N-Out, like Tom Jeans, doubles, bubbles. Um, no, Burger King is cool. I'll smack on a Whopper, but I wouldn't say that the Whopper's better than the In-N-Out burger though. It is a good burger though, fresher than the other ones. In-N-Out just better price point. I think what stands out about In-N-Out is the menu so simple. You get what I mean? They only got like 4 combos, so it's simple. And that's why their food tastes. It has that unique taste because how other restaurants, if they're making multiple different kinds of foods, like let's say they make chicken sandwiches and fucking toast and eggs and hash browns and all this other shit, right? But they're using the same comal. They're using the same fucking stove, right? So like when they're putting the patty, even though they do scrape it up, it's not really taking, all that off of it, right? So the meat tends to get some of that flavor. So it's kind of like, fucks with the steam. While In-N-Out, they just do fucking hamburgers, right? So it's like they don't got to worry about that. They don't even do chicken sandwiches. What about Wendy's? Wendy's is cool. It's all right. What are your thoughts on to move into or live in California? It's pretty comfortable. Ah, it is what it is. I mean, people are gonna do what they do. I mean, has he finally admitted that he lives in Oregon? Because he went a long, long time denying that. He always said that he lived in California. Remember, he would even say, "If people believe that I live in Oregon, you guys are fucking stupid. I live in California." That's what he used to say. Then people found out he was lying, and more because he had other YouTubers lying for him. That is the crazy part about it. I remember the $1 Whopper. Shit, I remember when the cheeseburgers at McDonald's were 39 cents or 35 cents. 39 cents? I think they were 39 cents for cheeseburgers at McDonald's before. I think only on Sundays though. We used to go. We used to get all kinds of fucking burgers. Oh, okay, they had the no. They were like 39 cents or 35 cents, but I know it was like 30 cents though. Shit, me and the homies used to go stack up. Do you like a hamburger helper? Yeah, I fuck with hamburger helper. The fucking cheese one and the cheeseburger one and the something cheese, 3 cheese or 4 cheese or some shit like that. Then I went to. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like if I know why he went and moved in. Only he really knows. I mean, because there's work in California. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that say there's no working, but there is a lot of work in California. Just that people don't. I don't know. Don't want to work at certain spots. I guess I don't know. What about smash burger? Not too much of a fan of smash burgers. I feel like the smash burgers, they go in heavy with the seasoning, or I don't know if it's maybe because the meat is compressed, right? So all that seasoning gets compressed. But I feel like the seasoning just overpowers the burgers, though. I try smash from different places, and they all have that. They all have that thing. It's just like the if it's just like they overdo it with seasoning. It's all frozen, reheated bullshit. No, yeah, well, yeah, it's all gonna be like that. Especially if you're doing what you call it, fast food restaurant. Because well, I mean, you gotta throw these burgers out. You can't be fucking wasting your time fucking grounding up beef and everything like that. And even when the beef shows up, I mean, it's frozen. It's in itself too. Eat healthy, eat at home. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't be eating street food all the damn time. Facts. And plus, you get tired of just pure street food también. He's in Washington now. Oh, well, wherever, I don't know. But I remember he used to get mad when people used to speak on politics of when they didn't live in California. That's when he used to claim to live in California. I guess it's okay. Now he has changed the standings on that. What's wrong with him living in Oregon? Nothing. Right? But it's different comparing, like, you're claiming to know everything that's going down in California and claiming to, know the program, right? And then speaking about the program, but you're in, like, let's say you're speaking on topics you're not supposed to be speaking on, but yeah, it's easier to try to act tough and, like, you can speak on it at the comfort of your home in a different state. You get what I'm saying? Because I remember when I first got onto YouTube, when I first started my YouTube channel, he was saying that um like he follows my channel, watches my channel. He says that he's like, oh, I don't even know, like I just I watch your videos and then that's how I know about the hoods. but like I don't know about the hoods. I go, oh, I thought you actually knew about the hoods because how you mentioned them. He's like, no, I watch your videos and that's where I get my info. I'm just like, then why are you saying that you know about these areas then? And they just, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Because I do that like on my videos. I mentioned the only reason I know this is because people from those hoods are telling me. It's not that I just fucking know about this information, right? Not like I am the know it all. I only know because they tell me, right? But he was saying that he knows because he knows. Strange. But yeah, I don't know this. Like, well, because people from those hoods hit me up and tell me. You know, I'm gonna take credit for shit that's like, that I don't know. It's just weird. I'm surprised. Absolutely. Considering he makes fake stories about target. Well, that's because he used to paint himself different, right? But now that stuff is getting out there, he probably is a little bit more hesitant than before. Like if people humble themselves, people wouldn't even, target them or whatever. Oh, hey, look, hey, saludos. TV is on here. That's the one he's talking about. So it's exposed. Oh, exposed TV. Exposed Tube. That is what it is. I'm over here saying exposed TV. Well, that's the channel that I was talking about, though. So you guys could go and subscribe to Exposed Tube's channel if you guys want to know about it. That is literally the channel that where I see the clips from. So it's exposed to. I'm over here saying exposed TV. Way off. He has to say it's pretty comfortable against California. Yeah, and he is wanted from his side. The Northerners don't really like him. I mean, they're making music about him. I think they're too fond of him. Hey, and the music's pretty dope too. I ain't even gonna lie. What's that song called? The War? Is that the name of the song? War or something? I want to go to war. War. And then the one by the artist nephew, some shit like that. Hey, if Exposed Tube is on here, I thought I was exposed to. No, mom. Organs cheaper rent. Is it? All right. I figured it would be expensive just like out here, like considering the fact that, people tend to flock to those areas. So there's no reason for rent to start being cheap no more, right? The whole purpose of having cheap rent is to get people to move into your areas, right? But then once people move into those areas, the prices of everything starts to go up. Just like kind of like certain states or cities or whatever, they pay people to go and move to their area, right? They pay people. It's pretty funny. Trying to get a flock of people. I'm waiting for us to go. You guys really get a kick out of that. Animation is not too much going on. All right, I thought it was kind of like a big city, kind of like San Jose or Stockton or Santa Cruz or something like that. Central Valley. Oh, it's a lot of fields. Okay, so it's like one of those towns where it's like you only have a certain area where there's like homes and like places you could go shop, but the rest is all terrain, pretty much. I'm sick. Oh yeah, with this change of weather, yeah. Well, I hope you feel better. Plus, man, This is very true. This is very true. This is true. That is facts. Without a shadow of a doubt, that is facts. I know that for a fact. I'm telling you, I've been exposed to. I've been Triple OG. I've been Chemo Flicks. Who else were they saying I was? Man, I've been all kinds of people though. I even get people like sending me like emails and sending me like, "Hey, are you exposed to?" Like, well, not exposed to, but like before, like, "Oh, you're Triple OG or are you?" Like, no, no. Like, I'm just like, do people really not pay attention to human behavior and mannerisms and like patterns? I don't know why, but I catch all of that when I'm like talking to people though. Like I said, people just have a character to them, right? Like a way they move and do things, how they speak, even their pacing, the words they use, you know. But I guess other people just don't pay attention to that. But I catch all of that though. Um, Gun hides behind a mask at first. Stories told by. Oh, when he went on that guy's thing, when he originally admitted to his story, but then changed his story. He's like, you know what? Nah, I want to be seen as gangster, but his program was almighty and powerful that would find a way to catch him, even if the world, Nebraska, and South Dakota. Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. Like maybe you like internet beef, right? Like people's behaviors, right, on the internet. Maybe to you, maybe like something that's a priority, but these individuals have real stuff to worry about. Like there's real moves that are being made. There's real things that is being conducted, right? They have bigger priorities than to be worrying about people talking on the internet or YouTube. You get me? Like internet bullshit is not gonna be the priority of nobody. You know what I mean? Like there's real shit to worry about. There's real ops to worry about. There's real, cases that are being built. There's real money trying to be made. Like there's real shit going on than to be worrying about some shit being said on the internet. You get what I mean? Like I said, it's like I can't imagine being posted in the hood in the homie company and like, hey man, we gotta go handle some shit. Hey, there's some fool talking on the internet. Like the internet. Like, man, we got real ops over here coming and gunning and everything. You want to go handle some shit off the internet? Like, what kind of shit is that, bro? People will fucking laugh at you and give you a beat coming with that goofy behavior. People ain't trying to worry about no internet, bro. There's real shit being done. Like, real, you know, things to do. And to be worrying about some fucking troll on the internet. You get what I mean? You know. But if they catch him, they catch him. It's not a priority. Hey, likewise, Cartan. So, um, doesn't someone name it Hood and Glenn? I said, yeah. And also, I know. I'm telling you, that's what he used to say. Like, he used to just throw names out there. He's like, oh, I got him from your video. I'm just like, what? That's strange. And little stuff like that, I started catching on to like, okay, this person's this kind of individual, right? So then when I got like the type of profile that was him, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna avoid this individual because this guy's weird. That's before paperwork came out and before all of that, right? Um, so when all of that came out, I wasn't surprised, because the pattern of the lies and everything like that, it's just like, yeah, okay, it all makes sense now. Yeah, because I remember when I first conversation with him, that's one of the first questions I asked, like, or you like did you roll it up or whatever? He's like, nah. He said that he was just non-active because he got in a fight with another norteño, and that's the reason. And I was like, well, that's a dumb reason, right? I mean, because in the South, that's what you're supposed to do. If somebody's disrespecting you, you're supposed to handle your business. If you don't, you're seen as a bitch. But I guess in the northern structure, it works different. If you do, then it's, I guess, something that could be punishable. I don't know. That just to me doesn't make sense though, because it's like, so you're just supposed to let yourself get punked though. Like down here, you would be given the boot if that happened, right? But it works opposite over there, so it's like okay, right? So it just didn't make sense to me. So I was like, all right, cool. But then it turned out that okay, then it all made sense after when the paperwork came out. I was like, okay, now the story makes sense because this version just wasn't adding. And it's like, why would somebody lie about some shit like that too? It's just, to me, I was just like, that just doesn't like, why the fuck would somebody do that for? You know, like it just doesn't make any sense though, because there's no reason why to lie though. Like a real one. I know that's. I guess that's like kind of like the reputation he was trying to get for himself. Did you see the snitch accusations surrounding PJ Knockout's name? No, I haven't. Oh wait, I think he had talked about something like that a while back before, and somebody had made a video. A black YouTuber had made a video, kind of pointing that out, right? Like something like that, like him kind of like slipping up and saying he had told her some shit, right? But it kind of went under the radar. Maybe that's probably regarding what it is. Didn't his brother get accused of like um being a predator or something like that? Which is big Trista? Crazy. Exposed to hiding behind the relationship. Apparently she snitched on. So sorry breaking that. I thought his whole thing was that the Southsiders were snitching on blacks, which I know it was just his animosity saying that kind of stuff. That's when he had his hatred towards the Mexicans because of the beef that he was going through when he was young. It's funny how BG said Mexicans are allowed to say like, the how ironic, huh? Like, look, no side is allowed to in criminal activity, but every side has them. That's just the way of things. But just because a group has set snitches doesn't mean that they allow it. Allowing it is if there's no consequences for being that, right? But there's consequences. There's, but just like anything else, rules will be broken by certain individuals. But just because people break those rules doesn't mean that people allow that to occur, right? Like just because people commit murder doesn't mean that people allow murder to happen, right? There's rules, but people break the rules. Same with this. People can't snitch, but there's individuals that will snitch. But that doesn't mean that people condone it. Right? Some paperwork. Yeah, but I think he had said, if I'm not mistaken, in an interview that he had turned his life to. He had, I think he became a Muslim, no, or something like that. He became some religious, right? And he said that he was no longer a gang member and didn't want to be associated as a gang member, or he denounced being a gang member. Pretty much is what he said. Get me? So he didn't want to be considered a gang member no more because he had found, you know, Allah or some shit. So it's like, so in actual reality, he wouldn't even care no more. So like, let's say if people are like, well, there's paperwork on him, well, he wouldn't care no more because he's a holy man now or whatever. Right? Maybe if he was still trying to be gangster, he would probably about that shit. It's even like these individuals. It's hard for them to understand like how it works, right? Like let's say people that get mad that they're getting trolled, right? Like for example, let's just say if Dubs and Gunner had a channel talking about fixing cars, right? Their whole channel is fixing cars and just test driving cars and talking about cars, right? Like that's their channel. There would be no reason for people to be on there and be like, "You fucking snitch," or "You snitch," or you have paperwork on you, right? Because they are no longer gangsters, and they're not talking about that. They're not talking about nothing gang related. So it would be irrelevant to even bring it up, or why even discuss it, right? Because like, well, why are you talking about that on the internet if you care so much? Go handle it in person, right? So when they remove themselves from this, right, their lives, right, no one's gonna care about this stuff. The only way that they're gonna care is if now you start coming and trying to act tough and trying to now and talk about this gangster shit, or all these gangsters are doing this and that. So now when you're now revolving around gangs now, okay, now you're talking all this hot stuff, but what about all this paperwork right here on your? You get what I mean? Is when you're trying to now inject yourself into this life where all of this stuff is going to be important and play a factor, bro. Once you remove yourself from this, bro, there's no reason for people to bring it up or talk about it or for you to even care. You get what I mean? But because you still want to be paint yourself like as a gangster, like people can't call you out. If you're not trying to be a gangster, people can't call you out for trying to be gangster, right? You can't be like, oh, you want to be gangster? Like, who's trying to be a gangster, right? You can only call out those who are still there, which is what they're trying to do, right? Which is why people can call them out. But it's like people can't, make the connection. Like, man, why can't they just let me be with my channel? It's kind of like if a guy pretending to be a doctor and he creates a channel giving talking about medical shit and stuff like that. People are gonna be like, "You're not a fucking doctor. You're not a real doctor." They're gonna be on his ass, right? They ain't gonna let him operate, right? They'll shut down his channel real quick because people just can't pretend to be people when they're not, bro. It's not how the world works. It's like you watching a channel of somebody who told you he's a therapist. Then you find out that he just works at a hamburger stand. You're gonna be outraged, right? When you find out, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Well, yeah, bro. People don't like to be lied to. It's that simple. And people be like, "What's the big deal?" Well, like play it out like in this scenario, you would care. You sign up your kid for boxing lessons thinking that the guy's used to be a boxer and stuff like that, but it turns out that he's a registered sex offender whose only skills was fucking stealing EBT cards. You're gonna be like, "You lying sack of shit." Yeah, when people move, they're moving for a better life, for a better reason. Like they're looking to change their lives. They're looking to, live life. They want to move and then act like you gangster, like you all about your set. But when you were over here, you were quiet as a mouse. No, yeah, like I have my own channel. If I really had to say something, I would just say it. I'm not one to hold my tongue. Those quit making videos. I was like, remember when those today's videos on location? Yeah, at his shop. I do know that. So this is no for Tennessee and handling business. Well, no, and there's gangs, in those areas, right? No, yeah, but if you're a target, who's let's say you're a threat, right? Because of the information you know, right? Or you're cooperating, right? And the information is devastating, right? Like you can actually do real damage with the knowledge you have. Then yeah, where the fuck you're at, they'll be able to get you, right? If they really want to get you, they'll be able to get you. Well, no, I don't consider people out of state wannabes, Southerners, right? Because like, just because you're from California doesn't mean like this is the only like real gangsters, right? You see real gang members, New York, Chicago, right? That are from like Latin Kings or the Maniac Disciples or whatever gangs are in those areas, right? So there's killers that are being brewed everywhere, right? Like you don't just because you're from California doesn't make you extra crazy or extra down or that you have this special gangsterism to you, right? So other areas can produce those kind of individuals. I never understood that. Like, why do people think that people have to be in California in order to like, is it something in the air down here? What is it in the water? Or people be like, well, you don't hear about criminal activity like as much as like California. And we're like, yeah, well, look at the population difference, bro. More people means more individuals. More individuals means the opportunity to do more shit, right? More crimes being done because you have more people. Less population, less amount of individuals, then the least amount of crimes you're going to be hearing. Because the amount of people, bro, it's all, I mean, come on, statistically wise, bro. Numbers does play factors. It's like if you live in a small town that only has like, I don't know, 800 people in it, and one gang has only 20 individuals, the other gang has 200. The chance of you bumping into individuals from the 200 to the 20 is going to be higher because of the amount of people. you know, so that's just pretty much how it works. California is a big state that's massively populated compared to some other these other areas, but that doesn't mean these other areas are more crazier for that reason, right? Because all these areas have individuals that have been arrested for homicides, and I mean, there's nothing worse than committing homicides. So how can this area produce crazier gangsters if they both committed the heinous of acts, which is homicide? You get what I mean? So just like if you have two individuals who killed the Knops because of gang related reasons, is the one from California downer because he's from California than the guy from, let's say, I don't know, fucking um, Alabama? You get me? Have they both shot the individual? No, right? That's what I mean. It just doesn't make sense. Nah, well, they're different in California. Like, so you have a gang related murder, but they both shot the individual. They both get arrested for murder, gang related homicide. But the one from California is downer just because he's from California? Why though? Yeah, what's the reasoning? People are not gonna be able to come up with a reasoning. Like, what's in the air, in the water? Like, what? Get me? It just doesn't make any sense. California don't claim hoods outside of his area. No, but see, that's the thing. Like these southern gangs, they're gangs that are started in those areas. They claim whatever areas. Now, let's say 9 times out of 10, most gang members don't live in their area. They don't live in their hoods. You know what I mean? Like I have homies that are from my neighborhood that don't live in my neighborhood, right? But just because they never lived in my neighborhood doesn't mean that they're not like, as down as the homies that are raised in the neighborhood. It's not like those apartments make them downer. You get me? Cali Staters are Cali wannabe. But why are they Cali wannabeers though? That's the part that I don't understand though. Like they're proud of their area and they represent their area, wherever area they're at. right? And they claim their area. They don't say like they're from LA though. You get what I mean? Like for me, a wannabe is like an individual who, like, let's say they're in Alabama and they're claiming to be from Los Angeles, like they're from LA, but they're not. They never lived there. See, that's a wannabe. Like you're claiming, to live over here, right? That's what I mean. Like there's individuals like if individuals from those hoods, like let's say how all gangs do it, right? You have guys from from Florence, and he moves to Kansas, right? The guys from Florence, they move to Kansas, and they now recruit individuals from that area to get into their gang. They're being recruited by actual real individuals from those gangs from those areas, though, meaning that their legitimacy has been stamped, has been approved. They've been officially made members by individuals officially from those neighborhoods, though. Because if not, how would they be members of those neighborhoods? They can't. So it officially had to get stamped. So if it officially got stamped, then how are they wannabes, though? You get what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We gotta get back to it. It was good chopping it with you guys, and we out.